They rule our internet, our homes, and sometimes our very hearts. With inscrutable eyes and effortless grace, the domestic cat is a creature of contradiction. They are both predator and companion, aloof and affectionate, a wild spirit in a conveniently portable package. But how did this formidable hunter, a relative of kings of the savannah, end up curled up on our sofas? The journey of the cat from wild beast to beloved pet is a 10,000-year epic spanning continents, cultures, and civilizations. It's a story of mutual benefit, divine worship, dark superstition, and global domination. This is the incredible history of the cat. Chapter 1. The Wild Beginning. Felis Silvestris Libica. Our story begins not in a palace, but in a granary. Around 10,000 years ago, in the Fertile Crescent, humanity made one of its most crucial leaps. We learned to farm. We settled down, stored our surplus grain, and in doing so, we created a paradise for rodents. This veritable rodent buffet attracted a local, shy, and highly efficient predator, the Near Eastern wildcat. These wildcats were solitary, territorial, and avoided humans. But the temptation of an easy meal was too great. For the farmers, these wildcats were not a threat, but a silent partner. They asked for nothing, and in return, they protected the food supply. This was the beginning of a commensal relationship, eating from the same table. The least tolerant towards humans wildcats were driven away, while the bolder, more tolerant ones stayed, bred, and passed on their tameness. This self-domestication is key. Unlike dogs, which we actively bred for specific tasks, cats largely chose us. Genetically, our modern house cats are almost indistinguishable from their wild ancestors. They simply evolved a more tolerant disposition towards the strange, tall apes that provided such excellent hunting grounds. While the relationship began as a practical one, it was in ancient Egypt that the cat found its first true glory. Here, the cat was transformed from a useful pest controller into a divine being. The Egyptians worshipped a pantheon of gods, and among the most beloved was Bastet, the goddess of the home, fertility, childbirth, and protection. Originally a lioness warrior goddess, over time, she softened into a protective deity represented by the domestic cat. To harm or kill a cat, even accidentally, was a crime punishable by death. The Greek historian Diodorus Siculus wrote of a Roman soldier being killed by a mob for accidentally causing the death of a cat. When a family cat died, the household would go into mourning, shaving their eyebrows as a sign of grief. Cats were so revered that they were mummified by the millions to be offered to Bastet. This was the ultimate testament to their sacred status. The Egyptians, with their deep love and respect, were the first to truly bring the cat indoors, not just as a worker, but as a cherished member of the family. The cat's ticket to global domination was, quite literally, a boat ticket. Phoenician, Greek, and Roman traders sailing up and down the Nile noticed Egypt's elegant rodent control solution. A cat on a ship was a priceless commodity. It protected the food stores and trade goods, like grain and silk, from rats and mice on long voyages. In this way, cats spread across the Roman Empire and throughout Europe. They were valued, but their status had changed. In Rome, they were a symbol of liberty, not divinity. Across much of Europe, they were practical animals, useful, but not worshipped. Similarly, cats traveled the Silk Road and on trading ships to the Far East. In China, they were prized for protecting precious silkworms from rodents. In Japan, they were initially guardians of Buddhist scriptures from mice, later evolving into cultural icons like the maneki neko, the beckoning cat believed to bring good fortune. The cat had successfully conquered the ancient world. But the cat's golden age was not to last. In medieval Europe, the cat's fortunes took a terrifying turn. The very traits that the Egyptians revered, their mystery, independence, and nocturnal nature, now made them objects of suspicion and fear. The Church, seeking to root out paganism, began to associate cats with witchcraft and Satan. Pope Gregory IX issued a papal decree, Vox and Rama, which declared the black cat an incarnation of Satan. This led to centuries of horrific persecution. Cats were tortured, burned alive, and thrown from bell towers during festivals. This mass killing had a devastating unintended consequence. With their natural predator eliminated, the rat population exploded, and riding on the fleas of those rats was Yersinia pestis, the Black Death. The plague wiped out a third of Europe's population. In a cruel twist of fate, the creature they had persecuted could have been their greatest ally in preventing the tragedy. The Renaissance brought a renewed interest in science and the natural world, and the cat began its long road to redemption. They started to appear in paintings as symbols of domesticity, and even in the sketches of Leonardo da Vinci, who studied their form with a scientific eye. And once again, cats went to sea. On the ships of explorers like Christopher Columbus, and on the Mayflower, cats were essential crew members, protecting supplies and themselves becoming explorers in the New World. But the true turning point came in the Victorian era. The rise of the middle class and a new focus on domesticity, sentimentality, and pet keeping allowed the cat to reclaim its place as a cherished indoor companion. The first cat shows were held, breeds were standardized, and writers and artists celebrated the cat once more. The era of persecution was finally over. The 20th and 21st centuries have seen the cat achieve a level of fame its Egyptian ancestors could never have imagined. With the advent of the internet, the cat has become a global superstar. They are the undisputed rulers of online culture, bringing joy, laughter, and a sense of shared community to millions. Today, we continue to unravel their mysteries through science, understanding their genetics, their unique communication, and their complex relationship with us. We share our lives with over 370 million pet cats worldwide. They are therapy animals, viral sensations, and most importantly, beloved family members. From the grain silos of the Fertile Crescent to the temples of the pharaohs, from the dark superstitions of the Middle Ages to the bright screens of the digital age, the cat has walked alongside us. They domesticated themselves on their own terms and carved a unique place in our world and in our hearts. Their history is a mirror of our own, reflecting our fears, our beliefs, and our capacity for love. They were once gods, and in a way, for many of us, they still are. And they have never forgotten it.